Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
这次旁白不大一样哎。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
走左边吧。
Terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
直走吧。这数字是什么呀？好多数字呀！这门开不了。
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
这是个什么地方？
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy. Or sad, or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
这怎么把这个装置？这有个3是什么意思？这个就是控制精神的一个装置吧。估计要走到那个地方。可以不走吗？这能直接就走吗？不管这个机器，这个是啥？控制台禁用，感觉走不了了呀。这上面呢？这个每个数字的这些按钮， 难道是不是要按照顺序摁的话，就会出现什么特殊的东西？试一下，1、2，啊，没什么反应啊。
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
说这个旁白叫我们把它关掉是吗？我把它开开呢。
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of
重新输入密码。
running from button to button,
密码在哪
screen
儿
to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
密码在哪儿
What do you think that, Stanley? That this video game
在
can
那
be
代码上面吗？
one solved?
不大
Do you
像。
have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then
7不大对啊，就没有数字7啊。
being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
就死了啊！哎，这次这个出来不大一样啊，这个房间。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
太烦了，这家伙。
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Again, Stanley decided that this machinery would...
直接关了会发生什么事情啊？
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
就真的没其他路可以走了，是吧？
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Mm, 这是其中一个结局。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
杂物室
Stanley
被
decided
封
to
住
go
了，
up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
诶，这门可以开啊！这门之前好像不能开了吧？这电梯到了没啊？因为我没摁是吧？ 哎，怎么还是这儿啊？这电梯就不会动是吗？就只会放音乐，啊，真的就不会动啊？这什么鬼电梯？
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
行，省掉我一些时间。哎，这个浴室能进去啊？我看到了偷来的钱，当然不是你的。要我说，室内可爱的钱包。啥？这还没什么东西可以摁呢。现在这个游戏基本上，一些我觉得比较有趣的结局已经打出来了，然后剩下2个结局，我觉得值得看的就是，一个是那个老板房间，我记得第一次我去老板房间的时候，它是需要一个。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his. This was not the correct way to the.
它需要一个那个声音的密码。那个我没有一直打往前打，现在我就想看看。然后第2个结局就是接电话，当时我直接把电话线给拔了，然后没有接电话，然后这个我想看看到底是啥。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
就这儿。
That's her, Stanley.
接电话。
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
现在动不了。
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
事情的真相。
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
在你的键盘上按下8键，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、9、0都没有反应，按8。
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
现在就让我做 Stanley 咯，按1。
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
按 K。
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
按 B
And so he
看
began
电
to
视。哎，
fantasize about his own job.
电
First,
视
he
呢？
imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
我就死了。重来了。诶，这房间不一样哎。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
诶，白板结局这是啥？按是没反应的。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
又来到这儿了。
Stanley came to a
其实我在玩这个游戏，我就在想，玩这个游戏玩点在哪儿？我觉得玩点其实就是让玩家去思考一些问题吧，比如说现在玩的这个到底有啥意义？走左边的门比起走右边的门有什么意义？我觉得只要去体验了就有意义吧，而且每个人觉得这些事情的意义都不一样。 这让我想起了我之前看那《黑客帝国》第2部，里面那个 Neo 问那个先知，就问说选择有什么意义？选择到底是不是一个幻觉？就最终其实没有选择。然后先知就说，所有事情其实都已经发生了。 然后我们现在只是去体验一下这些事情，去理解一下这些事情而已。所以我觉得玩这个游戏的意义不是说去做选择，而是去理解这个游戏每个选择背后的这些事情的想表达什么意思。同时观察我自己对这些事情的反应，到底我自己是怎么想的。其实不只是玩游戏，其实包括平时做事情、做选择也一样。 你看这个房间不一样了，这个能进吗？进不了。
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
说呀，怎么说呀？
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. 没反应啊。
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
说不了。
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
这怎么说呀？我摁了没反应啊。Night Shark 115.
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
其实我觉得，只要这个游戏玩起来，让玩家思考一下相关的问题，我觉得这个游戏就达到效果了。而且我觉得这个游戏做到了这一点，所以我还挺喜欢这游戏的。其实，我能直接从这跳下去吗？
But in his eagerness to prove that
直
he is
接
in
就
control of the story
直接就
and
死
no
了
one。gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. It's been about nothing but you all this. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for?
诶，这是什么地方？
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
这是什
I
么地方？
actually feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
这让我跳下去是吧？我跳呢？ 好像不跳是不行的。这有张画。我跳这边呢？
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
跳这儿呢？跳不出去，走不了。
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You are going to stay here, aren't you?
我很好奇他到底会说啥。已经不会说话了，走吧。
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you? Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
哎呦，也有点害怕。
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No. No, no, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
那在这儿啥也没得做呀。
Perhaps not.
生命就在于运动，不是吗？
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.